All right.
Hey,
Hey,
Eagle, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Just got up. Early
Just
morning
got
here.
up. That's okay. And thank you for taking the time. So you're coming back. Is it the first tour since 2018?
First tour. I've been on the road all year this year.
As in Australia?
In
Like,
Australia, I haven't been there since, what is it? Maybe 99, 2000 or something like that.
I saw some ads for a tour a bit later than that, but it's
Yeah,
too long.
no, I
It's
think there
too
was
long.
something going on, but it got canceled. But I haven't
Right.
been there in like over 20 years, so I'm really excited.
It's way too long. That's all we know. Now you're touring with UB40.
Yeah.
So for you, have you worked with them on on any projects previous?
I have not. I've, of course, heard their music and been a fan, but no, I haven't even met them. So I'm kind of excited about that as well.
Yeah. And as you said, you are freshly off the road. I think your last date was last week, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
last Saturday.
How has the European scene gone this year? Everyone's sort of been tentative coming back into live music since COVID. How was it for you?
Um, well, I mean, after COVID, I was climbing the walls. I've never, like we all have, and uh, and the thing that felt good was that I think everybody really needed to come out and have a good time again, and to play music is a privilege on that front. So we actually went out last summer. We were out as well. So um, for me, I grew up on the road. My father was a jazz musician, so we toured all through my childhood. So for me, the road is kind of my second home. So I always feel very good when I get up on stage and get to play gigs.
And a quick look at your Instagram. You are not a hotel dweller, as I call them. You get out, you immerse yourself in where you are. Are you the kind of guy that likes to find something new in each city to visit?
Yeah, that's part of what's so exciting is to wake up in the morning and be somewhere you've never been. But if I'm in a city that I've been before, I also like the luxury of not having to do anything. So
Sure.
sometimes I do kick back a bit and focus on what we're going to do in the evening. But like for this coming tour, coming down to Australia as well as New Zealand, and I've never been to New Zealand. So I'm really excited because we have a few days off here and there. So I'm definitely going to be checking you guys out and see what's going on down there.
Well, that's fantastic because a lot of bands don't have the luxury of days off, especially on an Australian run, because the cities are so far apart.
Yeah.
So, what is
Well,
the
I might have
one?
misinterpreted the schedule. We might be traveling on those days, but I'm going to see to do some stuff.
What is the one thing you need to do when you first get into a city? Is there something that you need to go and do straight away?
Depending on the weather, but I like to walk aimlessly. Now we have the Google Maps and stuff, but back in the day when I used to tour before we had that, you would just choose a direction and hope you find something and see where you end up. And then at the end, later, you'd meet up with the rest of the band, and then you find out that someone else found a much cooler neighborhood than you did. But nowadays, yeah, you try to go check out. I still like vinyl, so you'd like to go and try to find some vinyl shops. Good food is the other big project, where we're gonna eat dinner and stuff like that.
Well, when you hit Brisbane, we have
Yeah.
some great vinyl shops. One is very well hidden, and you need to set aside a good couple of hours in there, so you'll love that.
Okay,
Um,
good.
Now, you brought out your last album last year.
Yeah.
Now, most artists did what we call COVID babies, where they had a whole plethora of material written over COVID. What's
Yeah.
in your vault? Have you got a lot put aside?
I have, because what happened with me was I was on tour 2019, like the whole year. I think we did about 80 gigs. And then I had all the songs ready to be recorded. I wanted to go into the studio and get the band in right away and get the energy that we had on the road. So we went in, and that was just around when COVID was about to kick in. So I had actually recorded the album, and then COVID kicked in, and then I had to wait, whatever, 2 years or something before I could release it. And during that time, I was making all these other stuff, just kind of messing around in here. And what happened was I was doing stuff that's very different from what I normally do. So those songs I haven't done anything with yet. I'm still kind of sticking to the guitars, bass, and drums, and I have a new
Cool.
album that's out ready now. But those songs, I don't know when I'm going to release them because it's a whole different soundscape. I was messing around with a lot of stuff that I don't normally do.
Awesome. Now, compared to when you started your career, we're in a different musical environment where singles seem to be the normal thing to do rather than a full-length album. But you've actually released a full-length album, so thank you for a full-length album. Is the album format still a priority for you?
I kind of don't mind EPs, when you release about 5, 6 songs, and a lot of people are doing that now, and singles. But what I like about because people don't have the patience to listen to entire albums nowadays as much as they used to. So what ends up happening is some of your babies might fall by the wayside, and people haven't had time to really check it out, except for the diehard fans. So thank you for that. But I would have liked to try that out, but I have certain territories where they still, the labels and everybody still want to have albums. So I've kind of catered to them. But yeah, I think the next one's also going to be a full length. So we'll see.
Fantastic. And do you believe in the whole long lead time for an album? Like you've got artists that release basically 7 songs before an album's released now. Safe to say
Yeah,
when you released your first album, you probably did 2 or 3 singles.
yeah, we did one that never stopped. We had a couple afterwards, but I remember that was a big, like a luxury problem that we had where, you had the next single, but the Save Tonight just wouldn't give up. And it was just like, okay. Um, I haven't, we've been planning on releasing the first single in January, and then I guess we'll kind of go from there and see where we go. I, uh, I like to have the next album out when I hit the road because I like to have people have heard all the new songs that I'm playing. And we're planning on starting to hit the road next summer, with the summer tour or the festivals and stuff. So we'll see. But the plan now is the first single in January, and then we'll see where we go from there. But now I think
Excellent.
also it's like you get confused because people are dropping singles all the time. It's like, didn't you drop a single two
Yes.
weeks ago?
Yes.
Like,
And the
too
lyric
much music.
videos, I find it hard to keep up with lyric videos.
There's
But
so much going on now that, I don't know
the,
how people keep up, but it
the
seems to
kids
work.
today have a luxury is the lyric video. When we were kids, we
Yeah,
had to get the words wrong to get them right.
right.
We had no help. We had to read liner notes or just hope.
Yeah.
Um,
And then
so
you
for
find out, wait a
you,
second, that's what they're singing? Oh.
I've done it way too many times. Now, Save Tonight is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Like it's had so much placement in TV and movies. Have you ever gone on stage one time and just gone, not tonight?
To not to save tonight.
Yes.
I have not. I'm very thankful because I really think it's a good song. And I think lyrically it's cool, the simplicity of it, and then the reaction you get and how happy it makes people that, it's kind of like having the ace up your sleeve. Even if you have a gig where, the crowd might not really be giving you what you want, but you still can just go bang. Um,
Yeah.
and it's one of those songs where I'm like, I can't believe I'm like, I actually wrote this song and I get the luxury of playing it. So I have some other songs that, I'll skip because I'm tired of it. But that particular song, I think will live forever. It's going to live
Well,
longer than me, I hope.
it always will.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now, have you had any desire to go back into acting at all?
Um, I've done a couple of things. I'm based here in Sweden. I'm half Swedish, so I've done a couple of things here, just because I was asked and it was fun. It's not like I haven't missed acting as a job, as a career. I was doing it in New York when I was young, and some of the gigs I did were really a lot of fun. But I do like to have control, I realized with the years. And as a songwriter, what I release is what I am. It represents me 100%. As an actor, you're part of a big process, which is what I think is cool about it. Because there's the directors, there's the lighting, there's a costume, there's the music, and there's the actors, and there's a script. But at the end of the day, I like to do something I can say, this is me 100%. So,
Yeah.
and I think I was driven by wanting to perform, and I get to do that as well as a musician. So I kind of get the best of all.
And the thing is, you come from an incredibly artistic family. You know, it's has it ever been hard to compete within your family artistically?
Uh, no, My sister, I guess, was the one because when I came out, I was like a few years after her, and people would often refer to me as Nene Cherry's little brother. But I've
Yep.
always been Nene Cherry's little brother, so for me,
Yeah.
it was nothing new. And I think it would be harder if we were working in the same genre and the music was kind of still kind of fighting for the same audience and stuff. But we um, we kind of have our own niche, and Nena's now actually written a book that's coming out in
Yeah.
October about her life, which is a bit weird because a bit of that life is mine as well. But we've been really supportive, and what's great about having someone so close, having worked in the same business, it's like when I frustrated or exhausted or whatever, I have someone I can talk to that knows exactly what it's like to be in my shoes. And then my sister's daughter, Mabel, had a big breakthrough with "Don't Call Me Up" and all that, and then we can be there to support her. So it's kind of cool. But what I do get annoyed with is how much clothes they get. We guys don't get that kind of stuff. They get endorsements all the time and get things thrown at them. I kind of think is annoying. I don't get that.
I don't have to worry. I'm just like, just find me a black t-shirt. I'm good.
That's you know.
Yep. Now, have you asked your sister for a pre-release copy just to see if she's dropped any dirt on you in there?
Oh man, took a long time to get it, but I was like, you gotta give me the book before it comes out. Because once people read that, they're gonna be asking me stuff in interviews and stuff,
Yeah.
all the secrets that I haven't shared that now is gonna come out. So it's gonna be an interesting ride. But the book is really, really good. And I'm not just saying that. She's written a fantastic book, and I think that people that don't even really know about Nene Cherry would really enjoy this book because she's lived such an intense, adventurous life.
That's so cool. Now back to you. What is the one fact or fiction about you? I'm going to go with fact that you think, you know, like a misconception. What's the biggest misconception about Eagle Eye Cherry?
Biggest misconception. That's a tricky one. I mean, I know that a lot of people, especially when we first came out, thought that was from the States, which I am, but I'm also half Swedish. But then the other thing was in the States, they always thought we were Eagle Eye Cherry was the name of the band. So people would ask me, "Are you in the Eagle Eye Cherry band?" And I'm like, "No, I am Eagle Eye Cherry." But I guess I mean I'm not. So I kind of keep a lot of my private life to myself, and even on social media, I don't sit and hang out all my private stuff. And so I'm not sure what people's image of me is, but I'm sure whatever it is, it ain't right.
Well, I'll give you the biggest misconception I found about you online, and I don't know if you've heard it.
Okay.
That due to your name, you were Native American.
That what?
Because your name is Eagle Eye, people
Right.
thought you were Native American.
But I am part, small part, but from my dad's side, my dad was born in Oklahoma,
Yeah,
and there's a little bit of Choctaw Indian actually in our family. So it isn't a misconception because
there you
my dad,
go.
my dad was quite into that culture, and there's usually a sign that comes and brings you the name. And when I woke up, when my dad was checking out his new baby, I opened one eye and looked at him, and he said Eagle Eye. So that isn't
Oh,
actually a misconception.
what a perfect way to end it. Now, before I let you go, give everyone your best sales spiel about hitting Australia in less than a month. I think it's getting very close.
Yeah. Uh, yes, I should have the dates in front of me, but I'm really excited to come down. And the one thing I know is that our live show is about you coming in and as quickly as possible, whatever's going on outside of the venue, you forget. And it's all about here and now.